Shalom, shalom. Most High Christ bless Israel. Welcome to another episode of 15 Minutes with the Captain. I'm Captain Naon.
Officer Elia.
All praises. And we're in Houston. We got another video for you. All right. So today's topic, all right, remember to like, subscribe, and comment on our videos, all right? The 15 Minutes with the Captain's videos, all right? So today's topic we're going to touch on is chosen seed, not mixed, right? Because we know today our people think when you mix, that's a good thing. But it actually not, all right? You are of your father, all right? So, hey, it is what it is. And being that people think that's good, it's not. I'm going to show you. Most of our people think that that's good, but the Most High made us different or separate from all nations, all right? In this class, Lord willing, I help you see that, all right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 14 and 2, all right? Deuteronomy 14 and 2, all right? All right.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14 and verse 2.
All right.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So God is telling us through Moses that you are a holy people to him. Go ahead.
And the Lord had chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all nations that are upon the earth.
Right. So if you think that you are alike or on the same level as the other nations, it's because what? You've been taught that.
Right.
You've been taught that we're all created equal. But you're not. All right? You're peculiar. Let me read you some synonyms of peculiar. All right? Odd. So if something is odd, that means it ain't like everything else, right?
Right.
Special. Something special meaning it's set apart, meaning these shoes ain't like these shoes.
Right.
All right? This the what's it called, the forest over there?
Redwood forest?
Redwood forest and the jungle where it's hot. I'm tripping.
The Amazon.
Amazon, thank you. The Amazon is not like the redwood forest.
Right.
They different. All right? So that's what we showing you. All right? And more words, remarkable, unique. All right? These, when the Most High said peculiar, this is what he meant. He meant that you're unique from all nations. All right? And special from all nations. I'm going to show you just how special you are. Let's go to 1 Chronicles 16 and 13. All right? 1 Chronicles 16 and verse 13. Being special, comes with rules and regulations. All right? That our God gave us. All right? Let's read that. Got to get it first, huh?
This is the book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 16 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
O ye seed of Israel.
Oh, what?
Seed of Israel.
Seed of Israel. Seed of Israel. So that goes into what? Being that chosen seed of Israel. Go ahead.
O ye seed of Israel, his servant, ye children of Jacob.
Children of Jacob. Jacob, what? Is our forefather, which name changed to Israel, which represents what? The 12 tribes of Israel. All right. We come from him. We descend from him. All right. We are that special people, that different, unique people. Go ahead.
His chosen ones.
His chosen ones. You see that? So when we read the chosen, we are the chosen. We Deuteronomy 7 and 6. We the chosen people. Right. Okay? That seed that comes from them, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right? So from there, let's go to Genesis 17 and 7. Because in giving us, in separating us from the other nations, first off, and making us peculiar, a treasure, right? He gave us certain things, which is what? Laws, right? Who we can and cannot marry.
Right.
Because your seed is a holy seed. But our people don't. Hey, it's just my sperm, I lay it in whatever nation I want to lay it in. Moabite, which is the Chinese, Japanese, Ammon, Esau, right? Yeah. I lay my seed wherever I lay, all right? In different area codes like these rappers say, right? Go ahead, read that for them.
Is the book of Genesis, chapter 17 and verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee.
That's that word again. Thy seed after thee. So that means him and his wife have sex, and we go get that, because some people, when they say seed, we don't know what the hell we talking about. Right? Keep going.
And thy seed after thee in their generations.
In their generations. So the children they have, right? But it's the same seed of what? Sex, sperm. We go read it. Go ahead.
For an everlasting covenant.
So meaning the covenant that I established with this nation, it's gonna be forever. All right, go ahead.
To be a God unto thee, and to thy seed after thee.
And to thy seed after thee. All right. Let's show them what seed is. Leviticus 15:16. All right. Because they know what seed is, but they just don't comprehend, I guess you could say, or can't resonate with it, per se. Some people may get it, but most of them ain't, right? So when you say seed, just think of an apple seed, right? An orange seed, all right? These are seeds that what? You plant anywhere in this earth, they're going to continue to grow that same seed, all right? China, you plant apple seed, it's going to be an apple seed.
Yes, sir.
A grape seed is going to be a grape, all right? Same thing, all right? Read that for them.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 15 and verse 16. And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him.
Seed of copulation. Seed of copulation. Read the definition, all right? Sexual intercourse. That's it. That's all you need to know, right? Sexual, right, straight to the point. Sexual intercourse, all right? Seed of copulation, sex, all right? Keep reading, and then we're going to go to Numbers.
Yes, sir.
And
if any man's seed of copulation go out from him.
Go out from him, because he is the one that determines what nation this baby coming from.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
Then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until the even.
Right, because he go have all them juices and stuff. He got to get clean. So Numbers 1 and 18. All right? So we understand now that the seed consists of man, sexual intercourse, and his sperm. All right? That's what the seed is referring to. All right? Which is taken from him. Not taken, but, and put in a woman. All right? Basically. Let's read that. Numbers 1 and 18.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees. After their families, by the house of their fathers.
By the house of their, why ain't the mother? Because in the Jewish religion, they go by the mama, right?
Right.
But most I said by the house of their fathers, okay? That's where seed come from, the father, all right? So let's just, the word pedigree, we got to, look up the words. It says the recorded ancestry, especially upper class ancestry of a person or family, line of descent. So that's showing what? The how I go like the tree?
Family tree.
The family, thank y'all. So the family tree, all right? Everybody's on there. Great-great-great-grandmother, great-great-great-grandfather, so on and so forth. But it's the men that has the seed to continue to what? Procreate with what? Their nation, all right? And our God was strict about taking your seed and mixing it with these other nations, all right? It says genealogy, family tree, history roots, just like the movie Roots, right?
Yes, sir.
Us connecting back with our heritage, all right? So from there, let me flip. Let's go to Deuteronomy 7 and 3. This was for the established right here. When we was going into the land that God promised to us from our forefathers, that we wouldn't do something certain as mixing with these nations. All right, let's read that.
Is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 3. neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Right. So our God is showing us not to do what? Mix with these other nations. It's plain and simple, but today our people will say what? You can't help it who you love.
Right. Love is love.
Love is love, brother. But no, our God didn't say that. He telling us when we went into the land of Canaan, which is Israel, right, that don't mess with none of these nations. Don't give your sons to their daughters. Don't take their daughters for your sons. Basically, that's plain, clear cut. But we didn't follow those rules. We broke those rules. As today our people continue to break those rules. These are laws that God gave us, all right? Because that holy seed we're going to read about. Let's get it. Ezra 9 and 2. Let's look up and see what this holy seed is. Because it's us. We the holy seed. That's in what? Us, the men, right? Oh, Ezra, my bad.
Yes, sir.
In the Bible. Yeah.
It's the book of Ezra, chapter 9 and verse 2. For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people.
Slow it down. Slow it down. It say, for they have taken of their daughters for themselves. So we, the men, took what? Their daughters. For who? Ourselves. Sexually. All right? Go ahead.
And for their sons.
Oh, no. We missed the point.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
For they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons.
And for their sons, so the daughters and sons, they were just taking them and giving them off. Go ahead.
So that the holy seed.
So that the holy seed of Israel, the holy seed that's within man,
right?
The man of Israel, the sons of God. All right, go ahead.
Have mingled themselves.
Have mingled themselves. That means mixed. Go ahead.
With the people of those lands.
With the people of those lands. The land he just told us in Deuteronomy 7 and 3 not to mingle with. All the lands. All right. Wherever you go to plant your seed. All right. Just like I get an example of an apple seed in China. That's what our people doing today. They over in China. They was over there in the war. Vietnam doing what? Planting their seed.
Right.
Right? So this holy seed should not mingle with the unholy seed. All right? That was it on that?
No, sir. There's more.
Go ahead.
Yea, the hand of the princes and the rulers hath been chief in this trespass.
Right. The hand of the rulers have been chief in this trespass. What does that mean? That means our leaders was doing this. They was doing what? Setting the wrong example to our people. That's what our people do today. Not to get on MLK, but, he set that wrong example, right?
Yes, sir.
Our people today set that wrong example. When they make it, quote unquote, they set that wrong example, all right, in marrying these other nations or just dealing with them sexually, because a lot of them don't get married, all right? So, First Ezra 8 and 70, all right? We're going to get another account of leaders going off, all right, going into their lust with these other nations, all right. We've done this so many times in this Bible, it's redundant, all right. Let's read that.
The book of First Ezra, chapter 8 and verse 70. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land. And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity.
Right, it's saying the same thing that we just read in Ezra, basically. All right, that's why I say it's redundant. It says, for both they and their sons have married with the daughters, and the holy seed mixed. The holy seed is mixed. Strange people of the land. All right? So they are strangers to God, his laws, commandments and the holy seed. All right. They weren't given what we have. All right. This don't pertain to them. But we're gonna see. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 7:3. Because our God gave us these stipulations, obviously, lie, for a reason. All right? That reason is very heavy. And this is what clouds or blinds our people today, because they think they made it when they get Becky, right? They think they made it when they get Su Young or whoever the hell Moabite they choose, right? Mei-Ling, right? Ling, right? They think they made it because now they're gonna have the straight hair or the blonde hair, whatever. All right. They think that they've made it. Their baby's gonna be so cute. No, your baby's gonna be unclean. All right. But this is what's gonna happen by you marrying the other nation. It's gonna bring forth confusion. Let's read that. Deuteronomy 7:3. All right.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
That's the part I wanted. Go ahead.
That they may serve other gods.
That's the part. That they may serve other gods. This is what will happen. All right? That they will serve other gods. Go ahead.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
Right. So the Most High pretty much got pissed off at us because we did this. We read in Ezra, the same account, that we did these things, marrying strange wives. And they did what? Turned our hearts from God. And we did what? Served idols. Idolatry. All right? So from there, let's go to Ezra 10. Ezra 10 and 11. All right? Let's get it. Ezra 10 and 11. We never stop doing these actions. Even to this day, we continue to love the other nations. Go ahead.
It's the book of Ezra, chapter 10 and verse 11. Now, therefore, make confession.
Read 10.
Yes, sir. And Ezra the priest stood up and said unto them, Ye have transgressed and have taken strange wives.
That's what we're telling them today, officer, right? Our people have transgressed and taken strange wives.
Right.
Or side pieces or thoughts or whatever the hell you want to call them, right? You transgressing right now. You going against the laws that God gave us. You mixing your holy seed with something that's nasty. All right. Go ahead.
To increase the trespass of Israel. Now therefore, make confession unto the Lord God of your fathers.
Our God told us to confess this stuff. Confess your sins. Confess the iniquity that you in. All right? Go ahead.
And do his pleasure.
And do his pleasure is to stop doing it, basically. Right. Stop sinning against our God. Stop following these idols, all right? Because and we're going to get to it and show you, but it's an adopting of something that don't pertain to you. When you marry outside of your nation, all right? You have to adopt their beliefs, all right? Their philosophies, their understanding of who they think God is or what God they serve, all right? Go ahead.
And separate yourselves from the people of the land and from the strange wives.
And from the strange wives. Keep saying the same thing. Nehemiah 13 and 23. Nehemiah 13, next book over. Last chapter of the book, verse 13.
It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13 and verse 23.
23, yeah.
In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod.
So Nehemiah saw the same thing that Ezra saw, that our people, men and women, did what? Transgress. They saw them committing the same wicked acts. All right, go ahead.
Of Ammon and of Moab.
Ammon and Moab, that's the Japanese and Chinese, boy. We love they flat butt behind, right? Yeah, no, we don't. Go ahead.
And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod.
So this is where the confusion come in. It say they spake half of what?
In the speech of Ashdod.
Uh-huh.
And could not speak in the Jews' language.
So that's growing up to where you speak the language of who? The one that's really nourishing you, right? Nurturing you. Mainly is the mama, right? So you're going to cleave more to her. You're going to speak her language. And you're not going to be able to speak what? The Jews' language, which is Hebrew, pre-Hebrew then. Today is the Yiddish crap. But they're just showing you the confusion. Once you step into that realm, it's all confusion. Now this child don't know how holy he is. Now he thinks that he is mixed and he have to conform to what the mother has taught him. All right? So that's the confusion, right? So keep reading. Was that it on that?
No, sir, there's more.
Go ahead.
And could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people.
Right. Go ahead.
And I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them and plucked off their hair and made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons.
So this is saying the same thing that Moses said in Deuteronomy 7:3. He's saying the same thing, man, over and over. All right? It never stopped. We kept loving this sin. All right, go ahead.
Nor take their daughters unto your sons or for yourselves. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
So he had to use example, right? He had to use number one example, Solomon. Solomon sinned by these things. Go ahead.
Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God.
Beloved of his God, God of Israel. Go ahead.
And God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless,
even though God loved him, even though God made him king over Israel, what did he do?
Even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
Outlandish women caused the sin. Because what? He built what? What you call them things?
Chapels and
groves. That's the word. Groves and temples for who? His wives. And they did that. What, you think they're worshiping the Most High in those temples? They're worshiping their gods, their deities. All right? So from there, let's go to 2 Corinthians. No, I don't want that. Let's go to Tobit 4 and 12. Tobit 4 and 12. All right? So in Solomon doing these things, and all our forefathers, the priests, the leaders doing these things, show the people that it's accepted to do. And you learn, as the scripture just said, they speaking not in the Jews' language, but the language of the other nations. All right? And now this bring forth confusion. All right? But let's see what our God say of how you should and who you should marry. All right? Let's read that. Tobit 4. Let me get that with you. Tobit 4 and verse 12.
Is the book of Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
It say, beware of whoredom.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
So when you're dealing with other nations, what is that called? No, from the top.
Beware of all whoredom, my son.
So beware of whoredom. When you're marrying outside of your nation, that's whoredom. All right? When you're following these other gods as well, that's whoredom. All right? That's committing adultery on your God. All right? Go ahead.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
Chiefly take a wife of the seed, meaning the generation, right? Of thy fathers, of thy forefathers. All right? Go ahead.
And take not a strange woman to wife.
And not a strange woman. Go ahead. Other nations.
Which is not of thy father's tribe.
Which is not of the father's tribe.
For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred.
So he had to go back and show our people, bring them back to the remembrance of our forefathers married wives of their own kindred, meaning their own nation, their race of people. All right? Because again, our seed is a holy seed. All right, keep going.
And were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land.
Right, because that's a part of our heritage is getting the seed. Getting the seed. That's a part of our heritage, passing things down from generation to generation. All right. So Tobit 1 and 9. Tobit 1 and 9. Let's read that. Because he ain't said this once. He said it again. Let's read it.
The book of Tobit, chapter 1 and verse 9. Furthermore, when I was come to the age of a man.
The age of a man, we did we read it? It was what we was in Numbers 1. All right, Numbers 1 and 3, right? Yeah. The age of a man is 20, all right? So go ahead.
Furthermore, when I was come to the age of a man, I married Anna of my own kindred.
I married Anna of my own kindred, of my family, of my nation. It's simple. So stop mixing our seed with these other nations, these strange nations. Go ahead.
And of her I begat Tobias.
Right, so he had children, which was what? Of his seed, which is what? Of his nation. It's simple, all right? Let's go to Proverbs 3 and 31, all right? This is going to end it here. I pray y'all really understand the severity of mixing holy seed with unholy seed, all right? With a nation that God's hate. He hate these nations, all right? Because he didn't choose them, all right? He chose us, and he separated us from them, all right? Read that.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou not the oppressor. That's why we do what? We marry them. Because we really envy them. We want what they want. I mean, what they have, rather. We want what they have, all right? We want the riches, the straight hair, the this, the that, whatever, right? We want the liberty or the prestige or the, what's the word I'm looking for? The
Privileges.
The privileges. Thank you, officer. We want that white privilege. We want the privilege that comes with those other nations. But that will never adopt to us, not in this captivity,
Right.
okay? So we got to wait on the Lord come to put us back in power. So then, hey, we're going to be all good then to get that. But don't envy your nation enough to marry these nations, these heathen, these dogs, as the scriptures call them. All right? Finish it off.
Proverbs 3 and 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Right, so don't choose none of his ways by doing what? Marrying them and taking on what? Their philosophies and everything that come with it. All right? So with that, brothers and sisters, again, like, subscribe, and comment on our videos, the 15 Minute with the Captains, and continue to share. All right? Continue to stay tuned for the next videos. All right? Lord willing, until next time, I'm Captain Naon.
Officer Elia.
Most High in Christ bless.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.